everyone. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Lee Middleton. I'm responsible for Maths 2 class, usually on mainstream, and I'm now doing Mathematics 2 also on the Mechatronics program. For those who do know me, hi again. I still look the same, I hope. It's been such a long time since I've seen anybody in person. Well, I suppose good seeing you. So in this video today, I thought I would just go over the use of the grade center in Blackboard. What I'm going to show is just based on my experience. It's by no means exhaustive. There are many other ways to do things, I'm sure, because Blackboard has lots of capabilities that I don't even know about, and that I'm still getting used to. My apologies, we're having a couple of lighting issues. That's why part of my head looks like it's missing. It's just because we're filming during the day. Okay, so let's get started. So I am going to just log in here, right? So let's just log in. I'm going to use an old course of mine to show you so that I don't mess with my current marks. If I go to my courses, I'll go to 2020. Let's go to 2020. And I've got a semester course. Yeah, first semester, there we go. Now, if you go down the column in the side, right, all the way down here, you'll see you've got a grade center tab, okay? Now, you might have concerns of, you've got the grade center over here, and all your students are listed here. So sometimes even the ones who have deregistered are listed here. So you may not find them on your mass mark sheet. So you need to check that. And if they're in different groups, this one, all of the students show up, and they may not be grouped like that on the mass sheet. So that's something that you need to be careful of. If you go to the top of the screen, you'll see here, let me just move this. You'll see that there's a little eye icon, right? There's a little eye icon right on top. A little dot with two arrows going around it there. That is the student preview mode. If you go into student preview mode, you'll see that none of the students would be able to see your grade center. Even when you're loading content and so on, you can check student preview mode just to see what the students actually see. Because sometimes you accidentally, like I've done in the past, I accidentally make something unavailable to students, and then I tell them to go look for something, and then they can't find it, and then it was actually my fault. So it's a good way just to check and see what you've got. Okay. So you might have two situations, right? There are two things that I'm going to look at. Well, actually three. The first one is where you already have had assignments and you didn't do them on Blackboard, so you don't have a dedicated column for it. So you've got an Excel spreadsheet of marks and you need to load it somewhere. So we'll look at that. The second one is where you haven't yet completed assignment, or you haven't yet given the students an assignment, and that you can load that on Blackboard, and then it will automatically create a column for you where your marks will automatically go if you mark on Blackboard. And then the last thing I want to show you is how you can pull statistics from the marks on Blackboard, which I find is actually quite useful. Okay, so let's look at the first thing. So if you already have marks, right, I'm just going to go to the end of this tab. My screen is a bit small. You'll see that these are lots of assignments that I had done and tests that I had done at the time. I just want to go all the way to the end because I'm going to create a new column. All the way to the end. Right, I had lots of different things because at the time I was practicing, right? Because this was 2020 and I needed to figure out how all these things worked, etc., etc. So, what you do is you go to create. In the column name, I'm going to call it demo test. Let me just call it demo test. Just so that you know which one you're working with. Right? I don't need a grade center name. I'm not going to put that in. Here you can put in a description for yourself if you want to tell yourself what it is. Then you can have, you can display your marks in different ways, right? So the primary display, you can do score, or you can give it a letter, you know, like A, B, C, or I don't know, a 2, a 1, whatever, or a percentage, or just a simple complete or incomplete. I usually leave the first one as a score. So the score would be like if it's out of 20 marks or 50, etc. And then I like to do the second one as percentage, but that's entirely up to you. You know, it's always what is the most convenient for you. Then points possible, this would be how much the paper was out of. So if you've given an assignment and it's out of 15, you would put 15 here, or if you did a small test, it's out of 5 or whatever. So I'm going to put 20. Then you can add rubrics if you want to. I've never really used this, so I can't tell you what that does. I'll try to do it in the future. Because you're going to retrospectively add the marks in, you don't have to worry about this due date. You would only have to worry about this if you were creating an assignment in Blackboard. Okay, so I'm also going to put here that include the column in the grade center. Yes, we want to do that. Otherwise, you can't see where to enter the marks. Show this column to the students. No. I like to click no until I've finished marking all the students' work. Because if you don't do that, you're going to start getting students emailing you and asking you, you know, my friend has gotten marks, why haven't I gotten marks? And you usually get lots of those. So it's easier just to release all the marks in one go. And then you can show statistics. I'm going to come back to the statistics later on. Okay, so then you click submit. So if we now go all the way to the end, you'll see a column demo test has been created. Now when you've got a line through it like that, it means that the students can't see those marks, right? You can unhide it once you've finished, and I'll show you. To unhide it, you would just go, or make it available. If you press that down arrow, you'll see, yeah, hide from students on or off, and you just click that and it becomes available to students. Okay, so then if you have marks on a sheet, you just have to click in there and put in, so say Mr. A, the first student has say the first student has 15 out of 20, so you just add in the 50 and the 15, and you press enter. You must press enter. You can't just click to the next one, right? So you'll see that that first student now has 15 out of however many marks you've got, and the percentage is 75%. And that's how you can add it in for everyone. So say the next student has, I don't know, 12, and so on. So you can add everything in there. And then once you've finished with all your students, you can then just go and unhide the columns information, and the students would be able to see it. And the students are going to go, if you see on the side, this, in fact, let me show you what that looks like. So if I'm going to enter preview mode, let me just bring that down so you can see. If I enter student preview mode, you'll see down the side column here, you've got my grades. And that's where the information is going to come up. So it'll come up as a demo test, whatever you've made available to them, they would be able to see here. And you'll notice also that down the side, that they actually cannot see the grade center. You see? The strip is cut off there, the menu is cut off, so they can't see the grade center at all. Right? So let me just show you, if I go back, okay, this just tells you that your viewing details are not going to go into any kind of report that you want to run. So let me just go back and then show, oh, but it's not going to come up because I'm not a student. So if I was to make this available, demo test, and I go into student mode and I go into my marks, then I'm not going to see anything because I don't have a mark on the system. So only if your name is attached here, so say for example, John Smith, you have a student John Smith in your class, John Smith would be able to see the mark associated that would be in the demo test list. They won't be able to see anybody else's mark, only their own, right? So that's the first case, if you have to retrospectively add marks into Blackboard. The other way you can do it is if you want to give students an assignment. You can create an assignment in Blackboard. I think in the future I'm going to be doing a video about that anyway, so if anybody's interested, I can share that with you. You can just let me know, because you would include it under the content folder, or you can create your own folder if you want to, and you can, under bold content, under bold assessments, you can include the test, assignment, etc., which I'm sure many of you have done. I think all of you have done, is include an assignment, and then it will automatically go into the grade center. So you'll see all these other columns here: reassessment. There was an assignment here as well. There were lots of assessments in this course. We were very busy. They will automatically come up here. Right, and then the last thing I wanted to show you was, once you have a column with all your information, the students' marks in, you can draw statistics from that. So you go to this arrow here, and you go to the column statistics. And what's nice is that you can see how much the points are. It gives you the minimum and maximum values, the averages, median, the variances. It also gives you this nice information here, the marks distribution, because then you can see, whether you have that bimodal thing that some of us get in our class with the results, or if you get a nice normal curve, which I don't think any of us get really. So if you don't get a nice normal curve, this is just to the new staff members. If you don't get that, don't worry. All of us have skewed curves, especially now with 2020. Lots of it, like the median is sitting at like 80% or something ridiculous like that. So don't worry about that, to the new staff members. So you'll see here, like I said, the highest number is 156 between 90 and 100, which is crazy. Yeah, so that's all that I know about the grade center at the moment. I do know you can add in weightings. I'm going to test that this semester. So if you have a project, for example, like a project that was run last semester, where you have, say, 3 submissions and each of them have different weightings, you can add those 3 submissions into Blackboard and then have a 4th column that is the weighted total. So students can actually see what their ongoing total is as you're marking the submissions. If you want, I can show you how I do it when I do it, because I need to for my class anyway. And let me know if this is useful to you. If you've got any questions, please let me know. There might be something that I've omitted, or maybe there's something that I explained that doesn't make a lot of sense. Please feel free to ask me. Thanks, guys. Bye.